Hey everybody, Joe Haygood here, aka mclazyj. We're back. It is Tuesday morning, and quick inside baseball note: I actually recorded my vlog yesterday afternoon on the way home, and I was not feeling good at all. This just kind of leads into the general vlog for the week, anyways. Starting Sunday, I started feeling really queasy, motion sick, kind of like had this really sour stomach that felt like I was off, like I was having an inner ear imbalance, but I didn't feel anything wrong with my ears at the time. So I kind of went about my day, took some Dramamine finally because the nausea just wasn't going away. It was just there all day. It was just a slight feeling of like, oh God, I feel like I gotta throw up, but nothing was coming that way. It was just that feeling of just feeling like, oh God, at any moment it could be coming, right? And then yesterday, like all day, I was just super cloudy. Even though I took the Dramamine early, like between 8 and 9 o'clock, and I did sleep for a solid probably 5 hours, which for me, that's a lot. I woke up just in a fog, and I thought at the time I was like, it's just that kind of, oh yeah, I took Dramamine and I didn't get enough sleep and it's still in my system and I just feel, in the clouds. But even on the way home while I recorded that vlog, I was really kind of off and I didn't feel right. I didn't feel good. I started getting that nauseous feeling again as I was driving, and I just didn't know what was going on. To the point I told my wife, I was like, yeah, I gotta come home and I just gotta lay down. I think I still need some sleep. I gotta crash out for about 20-30 minutes and just kind of get a solid 30 minutes in to kind of... Anyways, I did that, and I still felt a little off, but I ate some dinner. I was doing all that, and then as I sat there kind of going through the motions for the evening and just not feeling right, I had this feeling in my ear like, oh man, my ear feels plugged up now. Great, on top of everything else. And then I had this kind of pop, and I had water come out of my ear, and I instantly felt better, and I was like, oh, that's what it's been. And it's weird because I didn't feel like that. Like, you think you'd feel like sloshing motion or something like that. And I'm guessing what happened is I took a shower Sunday morning, and I guess I had some water that got in my ear and then got caught behind some, like a chunk of wax, because I had like a clump of wax come out, and then all this water just came running out of my ear. No, it wasn't any kind of weird brain fluid or anything. It was definitely water. As I instantly felt 100 times better after that. So, you're getting a rare experience because you're getting me on a drive to work. As you can see, it's definitely darker out. It is going to be an overcast day in the morning. So there's a lot of cloud cover here in California. We're on the 60 freeway. We just passed the 15. I was supposed to take the 15, and last minute GPS told me to go this way. So I'm going to take this to the 71 to the 10 and then go to my work. But I didn't want to not have something recorded, so I figured, okay, we'll get something. So here I am. And that kind of gives you a rundown of like my weekend. I felt like we had a good weekend. Like, we went to the Gudetama Cafe, which, if you've seen it now, you've seen the videos I posted for that. YouTube, let us have like 5 to 10 minute shorts like TikTok will. I mean, it's dumb that I have a 5-minute video and it's treated as a regular video, and therefore it doesn't get the traction. Like on TikTok, that video it's all over the place and it's blowing up good. So on YouTube, though, it's treated like a regular video and it hasn't got the traffic, same kind of traffic. So, but yeah, that was fun. Pricey. Like, we spent probably about $55 after, giving a tip for our meal. And that was 2 sandwiches with tater tots and 2 specialty drinks. No Cokes, nothing like that. You have to buy specialty drinks. You can get water if you want. But yeah, the food was good, and we enjoyed the ambiance of the place. If you go, it is on the west side of the mall, Buena Park Mall, in the back where their pavilion is, although now most of the shops out there are empty. It's really bad. That mall in general has kind of gone downhill. Sad. It's behind the old Sears, which is now no longer there. But yeah, cool place. I would check it out. The theme is cool. We went back and got a cream puff, and of course my wife had to buy a bunch of merch. Bought a big plushie and a t-shirt, and of course some blind pulls, which sadly she got 2 dupes and one that wasn't a dupe. So my friend Kat from the podcast, from the You Like the Worst Stuff podcast, I'm going to be sending her those this week at some point. But yeah. But overall, we've had a good time. And actually, yeah, we've had some like light spritzing of rain, which is weird this time of year in California. Like some AM drizzle because of the overcast. And work, I've got a meeting today. I've got some issues that are going on with our MFA that I need to put some time into and figure out. So I'm gonna do that. Microsoft kind of changed our default domain, and I found out it has to do with federated domains and this, that. Anyways, a bunch of high level stuff. But I'm in an office environment where I'm the only IT guy, so unlike the other departments where they can bounce stuff off of other people that have knowledge, like, hey, there's a bunch of estimators, there's a bunch of project managers, there's a bunch of accounting people. Even our equipment yard and our equipment shop, there's a bunch of mechanics out there so they can trade ideas and thoughts, right? I don't really have anybody to bounce anything off of. So from time to time, I'll get somebody in, I'll contract somebody for a couple hours at a time, and I'll have them come in and we'll kind of sit down and bounce ideas off of one another. And number one, it's that safety net, because it's always better to have a second set of eyes when you're doing critical kind of concepts. Like, I brought somebody in when I was decommissioning domain controllers and spinning up new domain controllers, because there's things that can really go bad, and you can fuck up your domain if you go wrong. Especially somebody that comes from the old school BDC, PDC kind of mindframe and FSMO and all that stuff, which they're still there, mind you, but it's definitely an easier process now to spin up domain controllers and spin down domain controllers from where it used to be. But anyways, I digress. Got to work on that. On the gaming front, I have to admit, my malaise for streaming at night has become a problem. I just get home, and lately I've just enjoying, I've been spending time with my wife in the evening and whatnot, but that being said, I am going to make some more honest attempts at it, or if I decide, you know what, I'm just going to do my lunch streams and that's what you're going to get, and we'll see. The goal is to have some nighttime streams, because I do enjoy, weirdly enough, and some people look at it and they're like, half the time you don't have a lot of engagement with the stream, so why do you do it? You have more engagement with your videos. And I tell people, yes, that's true. I do have more engagement with the videos sometimes in the stream, especially shorts. But I like doing the streaming. I do like the idea of broadcasting. I do like the idea of talking with people. And when I do have people show up, it's great. Like, I did have some regulars for some of the Phoenix Wright stuff. I was sad that they haven't been there the last couple times because they were showing up on a pretty regular basis for the Phoenix Wright stuff, and it was fantastic. So it's always nice when people do show up and they're regulars and they kind of jump in and they talk with you for a bit. But I'm normally of the opinion, if I'm playing a game anyways, why not stream it and let some people watch you while you're playing? Now, the flip side of that is like, if you're not streaming, then, you know, if you're not feeling it, then don't do it. And lately, I've just been in this malaise where it's like, I think it's a little bit of like content creation, not depression, but just malaise, where it's like, I feel like the returns haven't been as great there, and so therefore you're kind of like, you know, you plot everything out, and you go through the motions, and you're like, oh yeah, we had another stream, you know, it wasn't a great one, not as many people showed up as I hoped, and you kind of go through that, and it's tough. It is a tough thing. So, but like I said, my plans are to do better and to make another, you know, run at it and get back on track. I plan to do a stream tonight. I don't know what it's going to be off the top of my head. I'm probably going to put Assassin's Creed on the website showing that's what I'm going to play. But I'm not going to guarantee that's what we're going to do, because last time I did that, I streamed it and it wasn't great because I was streaming gameplay I was streaming the game instead of actually having it installed. And I'm sorry, man, Assassin's Creed, don't take up 121 gigs in my hard drive. There's already like a lot of finite space for this stuff, so stop. Stop with that nonsense. It's crazy. But I do know the rest of the week, on Friday and Saturday, I'm going to try to get back to Final Fantasy 16. I really would like to clean that one up and finish it. I know we're getting closer to the end. I feel it. I don't know if we are, but I feel like we're getting close. Let me rephrase that. I feel like we're getting closer to the end, if that makes sense. Like, it feels like that's coming to a close. And more Sinking City, because that game has always been interesting, and I've now replayed this thing, like the beginning of it, probably for the third time now, because it's the third time it's been remastered, because we had the original, then there was a upgrade, and now there was a new upgrade with even more frame rate revisions and everything. So now it's a nice smooth 60 frames, yada yada yada. Anyways, I digress. With that being said, that's the plan there. Travel-wise, so we do, again, not much has happened too much on that front. So we're kind of in the same. Like I said, we did do the Gudetama Cafe. I did put that up as a travel vlog. It is only about. I would ask that you check it out if you're interested. If you like Gudetama or you like themed cafes, I would recommend it. I think it's a good one. I didn't bring mics with me because it was kind of spontaneous. Wasn't expecting to go there, but I knew I was kind of in the neighborhood at the last minute, and I was like, you know, I'm gonna go a little out of my way and go check this out because my wife really likes Gudetama. But I think it came out okay. That being said, even without the mics, I think it came out okay. We haven't got too much changed for any of our stuff here. I am trying to learn the ins and outs of Klook. I am trying to learn the ins, because, okay, so my confusion is, I want to buy like one of their multi-venue pass thingamabobbers, right? Because they have one where you can buy like your Disney ticket and like 5 event passes, and it's like, $150, right? I think it was like $155 for each of us. So like $310. We each get a pass to Disneyland, Tokyo Disneyland, which I'm like, cool. We each get, and then we get 5 attractions. And my attractions that I had been picking so far were like the Sky Tree, Shibuya Sky, and Sky Tree, Shibuya Sky, sorry. Small Worlds, Team Lab Planets, and probably like a kimono rental. All that being in there. And so, but the problem is like certain things can only be booked at certain times. Like Disneyland can be booked 2 months in advance. But I think Skytree can only be booked 1 month in advance. And if I buy that pass with the premium attraction, which is the Disneyland pass, when I buy the tickets for Disneyland, when I redeem those passes for Disneyland, I have a 30-day window to redeem the rest. But the problem is, I don't think I can book the other ones in that time frame. So I'm thinking I might have to do 2 Klook purchases. One where I book the Disneyland tickets, and then one where I book like the attraction pass. And then I can start booking those attractions ahead of schedule. Like, okay, I'm going to book a ticket here, book a ticket here, book a ticket here, book a ticket there. You know, blah, 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 blah. Easy peasy. Anyways, that's gonna do, that's kind of the big thing there. Trying to figure out what I want to do with that. And then, our cruise that we have coming up for the Carnival boat, not much has changed. We're just kind of, hey, we're at like 57 or 56 days until that happens. So that's coming up, ready to make content. That's a short one, but it'll be a fun one. We can put some good stuff together. And thankfully, we don't have to fly. Our travel day consists of driving from our house to the port. Very easy, very nonchalant. Just drive there, park, get in line, check in, board the ship, right? Japan, we're nailing down, like I said, the ideas, and I'm starting to slowly, the big thing that I've done now is I've put together the lists of, hey, these are the places where more than likely we're going to be able to go when we go. And this is what we could theoretically do in a day. Let's, plan these days. Like, we're thinking of trying to, if we're going to do our Hiroshima trip, we're going to try to do that, right off the bat. Which means after we come in hot on Thursday, we might have a Friday that we spend in town in Tokyo. And then the Saturday or Sunday will be one of the days we go to Hiroshima and just knock that out ahead of schedule and come back, But yeah, the excitement's here. We're under 200 days for that trip too, which is kind of nice. And then we have our Virgin Cruise. It's still a long ways out. It's like 424 days. So that's a long way away. It's not till September next year. Although, as we always say, feels far away. And then the next thing you know, it's time. Time goes so fast nowadays. So, but yeah, looking forward to it. Things are going good. Excited about the travel trips that we have planned. Hoping that you guys are going to enjoy them. I'm going to make better thumbnails to hopefully help the content grow quicker than the last ones. I have been going back to some of these. The older videos and creating some new thumbnails for a lot of the Virgin Cruise. to hopefully stimulate some more views on those, because I think those are good videos. I really do. I felt proud of what we put into them. And I was really proud of my wife coming out of her shell to actually participate. She's been really good with getting into these videos lately. So the hope is this upcoming series with Carnival, I will have learned a lot from that one, and I will learn to put some better thumbnails together before I post, including probably with this video too. But yeah, I think that brings us to a close here, as we're in some traffic on the 71 as we come up on the 10 freeway interchange. But I'm excited. I've had a thing on my desk that I've been working on for a little while, and I'm glad that's going to be gone today. I actually get to go home a little early on Thursday because I have to help out our estimating department deliver a bid. And I don't mind doing that, especially when it's in Riverside at 2 o'clock, which means I just get to go home afterwards and unwind for the afternoon, which is nice. Can't complain. Super excited about that. But yeah, goal is get that stuff done and be ready for just, like I said, slow roll towards these trips. I'm really excited. This, I've been to Mexico before, but I've been to Catalina Island, but I've never been to Avalon, as I've said. So that's going to be a unique new experience. I've never been to Ensenada before, because like most people, when they say, hey, I've been to Mexico, I'm like 90% of the people in California, which meant you went across the border to Tijuana and you spent a night or two there, and then you came home and you're like, I went to Mexico. And it's like, well, yes, technically you went to Mexico, but Tijuana is it's like literally right across the border. It's like, it's not, I wouldn't consider it the true Mexico experience per se. Also, it's expensive because it's right across the border and it's super easy to get to, and most of the tourist attractions that you see there are priced accordingly. When you go further south, the prices tend to get a little cheaper. Granted, I think when you go into ports, it's probably the same kind of inflationary pricing. But yeah, overall, excited. Got some cool trips coming up. Like I said, it's going to be really nice doing this Carnival Cruise, Japan, and then, like I said, out on the horizon. Brilliant lady, brand new ship, who starts sailing August, so not far away. I think there's going to be some tour videos from people that are getting to go out there and see it in New York ahead of schedule, or maybe in Europe before it does its first transatlantic to come over here and start picking, going from dry dock, or it could even be wet dock. I don't know for certain at this point. Coming over and picking up its first passengers in New York. And then it goes to Miami, and then it comes to LA. Then it goes back to Miami. Or no, goes to Alaska. Because we get it after it comes back from Alaska. We're catching it on the return trip from Alaska. I would love for that ship to be a permanent attraction on the West Coast. I don't think that's going to be the case, though. I would love to see it alternate between doing cruises to Mexico and then cruises to Alaska. Because for us, having a Virgin boat or a ship out here on the West Coast would be great. Because look, I'm going to say I'm glad I saw the parts of the Caribbean that I did. We would like to at some point go back to Puerto Rico. We thought that was an amazing experience. And we would like to go back there. But I don't like the idea of spending so much money to have to fly out there and to go to a cruise ship. It is very expensive to fly to Miami unless you go in the off season. Problem is, if you go in the off season, your cruise is going to be not the greatest because of weather. So, anyways, at this point, I'm just riffing, and I probably need to end this soon because I'm going to be at work soon. But yeah, the good thing is we've got some cool trips coming up. Can't wait for you guys to see them. Got some revamped initiative to get our nighttime streams back in order. And moving forward, just gonna try to. Let me rephrase that. I'm very happy that I'm not feeling as ill as I was, because I was really feeling very off, and I didn't know what was wrong, and I was kind of worried because I'm like, I've got travel coming up, and I don't want this to be like a Crohn's flare-up thing where it's like, great, I'm gonna have to get pumped full of steroids and all this other stuff, or get admitted to the hospital and burn up all my vacation time, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Just, not a great time. So, I'm happy that worked out. Oh, man, my ear still feels a little weird just because, I don't know. All of a sudden, everything is, more sensitive and louder in that ear. So I'm like, oh, yeah, it's all tingly. If you're somebody that's ever had to flush your ears on a regular basis because of the wax that you can get in there, even after I clean my ears, I still get terrible buildup and I have to actually flush them. It's that sensation afterwards where you've had that fluid come out and the wax come out, and then your ear feels like itchy and tingly for a few days after, as it completely dries out. It's and everything feels brighter and louder because you can hear better. So I'm in that situation right now where it's I constantly am doing this because it's oh man, my ear feels weird now because all that stuff's out, but it ran out and oozed out, and just now it's oh yeah, my ear feels very open now. So, I don't know. It's weird. If you haven't had weird earwax issues, you may not get it. But if you have, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So, anyways, until next time, thanks everybody for watching. I would love it if you would follow, and subscribe if you're enjoying the content. It would be appreciated. Helps us get more views. I should probably mention this in the beginning instead of the very end. I always forget. And basically, when you do subscribe and you do like these videos, it does help algorithmically move them up in the searches. Wow, my brakes do not sound great on this hill today. No, I just had them changed. I think it's more just that this car, it's getting old and it doesn't like these downhill climbs. I also need to get some new tires soon. I'm getting to that point where it's yeah, they look like they need to be changed. They're not bald, don't worry. They're just at a point where it's yeah, those look like they need to be changed. So, yeah, that's going to do it for us today. So thanks everybody for watching. And the reason I bring that up too about the subscribing is if you're enjoying the content, it does help you see the content when it's new. It does help promote that content up to the top of your feed when new stuff comes up. Also, because 97.6% of you, I think it is, that have watched my shorts, videos, and streams are not subscribers. So if you come and you enjoy the content, it's better to subscribe because then you'll see more of it. Otherwise, it does not show up in front of your thing unless something blows up and then finally it reappears in your feed again. So, That's why liking, following, subscribing, hitting the bell, all that good stuff help. However, the caveat is, I always say, if you're enjoying the content. If you're not, I'm not going to ask you to do it. As some of that went down the wrong wind. So we'll end it there. Thanks for watching, guys.